About 48 kilometres southeast of Jasper is Moline Lake. It's the second largest glacier-fed lake in the world, and the largest in the Rockies. We spent the rest of our afternoon wandering around this beautiful lake, and were rewarded with some fantastic views. Not far from Moline Lake is Moline Canyon. It's a limestone gorge about 50 metres deep at its deepest, but just a couple of metres wide at its narrowest.
Okay, the rock below me is actually all limestone rock. And what's really neat about this is the ground's cracked eventually as it's been forced upwards over the millions of years. And those cracks, those crevices have opened up and the water started to flow down through those crevices, and that's what's formed this fantastic looking canyon. It's pretty amazing, it's so deep.
Everywhere we travelled in Canada, there's always an abundance of wildlife, whether it be deep into the forest or just on the side of the road. Just outside of Jasper is a good trail that you can do. It's called the Whistler's Trail up Whistler's Mountain, at an elevation of 2,470 metres. I'm doing a wee hike this morning. Instead of taking the cable car up, we're taking it down, and I think this is called Whistler Mountain. It's a pretty steady climb. The trail is a fairly steep one, full of switchbacks, but the effort is well worth it. You end up being rewarded by panoramic views of the Mieti Valley and the Athabasca Valley. On the road again, heading south of Jasper, we'd head up to Mount Edith. There you'll find three glaciers, Angel, Cavell and Ghost Glacier. And here you can see Cavell Glacier, carving into this lake. This is also where we set up camp for the night, before hitting the Icefields Parkway the next morning.
Okay, this morning we're going to look at the Athabasca Falls. That's after I got really woken up as Carolyn pulled the tent down around my ears at like 6:30 in the morning. Now come on, I didn't even get time for a coffee. But these are pretty amazing falls, once again from the glacial period, thousands of years old.
Okay, follow me. We're taking a journey back in time. Believe it or not, there wasn't always steps and concrete here. This is the pathway of an abandoned river. As you can see, all these potholes and different lines where the water level once was. Exciting stuff, eh?
Further along the Icefields Parkway, it's worth making a stop at Triangle Falls to see the bighorn sheep and the mountain goats. Mountain goats live in rocky mountain areas above the timberline throughout parts of North America. British Columbia's population is by far the largest, at approximately 100,000. Throughout their lives, mountain goats remain in or near steep broken terrain, a behavior pattern which has most likely evolved as a means of avoidance of predators such as wolves, bears or cougars. As we travelled further south along the parkway, we found ourselves being taken in more and more by the beauty of the scenery. You should really give yourself 3 days to do the Icefields Parkway. Driving along this majestic Canadian rocky road is considered one of the most scenic mountain routes on Earth. As we pull off the parkway again, we stop at the Athabasca Glacier. This glacier is part of the vast Columbia Icefield. The icefield contains about 30 glaciers and is up to 350 meters thick. You can see by looking at these rocks how the weight of the glacier has shaped and formed the land beneath it. Our next stop along the Icefield Parkway was Lake Louise. It's about 57 kilometers north of Banff, and it's known as the Jewel of the Rockies, and well worth a stop. And near Lake Louise is Prieto Lake, another worthwhile stop, offering fantastic views. And not far from either of these lakes is the emerald-colored Marine Lake. This is surrounded by a panoramic of 10 glaciated summits. The lake itself sits on the Continental Divide, where all waters flow either west to the Pacific or east to the Atlantic.
Bit of a whirlwind tour today, all over the place. But we're in Banff, finally, only for a short time. It's quite a bustling little town. A lot of hotels. Population?
Banff has a population of 7,000 people, but this swells to over 25,000 people during the height of summer. Flanked on all sides by Alberta's Rocky Mountains, countless visitors travel to the town each year, lured by the cozy resort's unparalleled recreation opportunities and some of Canada's finest shopping and dining. Unfortunately, our journey was coming to an end. Our next stop will be Calgary, and that's where we'll be flying home from. It took us 2 weeks to travel this small section of Canada. And as with all travelling we do, it never really did feel like it was long enough. Anyway, we were left with some great memories of a wonderful place.